All right, everyone, welcome to the Star Atlas Townhall. Thank you, Darwin, as always, for being our great and official DJ. And we're back. We're back with another Star Atlas Townhall. It's been a really long time. We were missing this. I was missing this really bad. So I'm happy we can have another great Townhall. We have an action-packed one. So as always, please confirm in the chat, in the town hall chat, if you can hear me all right, if my mic is actually working well. Uh, I'm reading the chat now. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. So as always, I'm here with my, we now call him co-host, Michael Swagner. How are you, man?
Hello, Santi. Happy Friday. It has been a while, man. Uh, almost forgot how these things work.
Right? I feel the same, man. I feel the same. I'm glad we had the music at the beginning. Like I was listening to that song like today. I listen to that every single day we have an event just to it gets me going, you know? It gets me going. I love it. I
I'm
love it.
psyched. I'm psyched. We've got a great agenda today. Some nice updates. I know we'll get into all of that, but yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, man. So let's we like to go straight into business as always. So before we share the agenda and everything we are working on and that we will have today, I want I want to ask you, the audience, to share a form that we will be sharing now in announcements. Dominic is going to be posting on announcements. So go there to the announcements channel. The form should be there. It's just to help us improve our town halls, to know what you guys like the most. And not only the town halls, but every single Star Atlas event and the experience that everyone has in the Star Atlas community. So please take some time while you listen to the town hall to fill the form, and it will help us a lot to improve and provide the best experience for everyone. So now the agenda for today. So we're going to, as always, we're going to go straight into business. So today we have 4 to 6 recap. We'll have a breakpoint overview. We'll have some project updates, overall updates, and then an interview with Brett. Brett that is here in the on stage with us. Brett, how are you, man?
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm super happy to have you here with us. I'm really looking forward to our interview, but we'll leave that for the end, the best for the end. So now, Swagner, anything you want to mention before we jump straight into the business?
Yeah, two things. So, Brett, first of all, really appreciate you joining us. Really looking forward to the interview. I know we've got some great questions lined up, and I think you're going to be speaking through some of the things that are of high significance on the blockchain side to our community here. So, first and foremost, thank you for joining us today. And Santi, I heard you wanted to overshadow the whole town hall with a special treat for the community. I heard you were face revealing today.
I actually did already. So some people found it, some people didn't. But if you take a closer look at the Davis video that he posted today, you will be able to see it. So Dominic just actually posted the video in the town hall chat. As always, if you want to participate in the conversation, we use town hall chat. It's literally 2 chats above this one. So if you want to chat while we speak, just take a look there. Well, Dominic just shared Davy's video. It's hilarious. So I recommend everyone to take a look. And yeah, you might find some extra stuff in there. But yeah, Michael, it's impossible to overshadow this town hall though. Like I'm really looking forward to it. So let's
It only
just
it only
yeah.
took a year and a half, but what is done cannot be undone. So you're stuck with us now, Santi.
Oh yeah, I'm stuck here. I'm glad. I'm actually happy. I'm happy, man. So yeah, I have a couple community updates before we go to the other topics. So we have a couple updates. So we did a few changes to the Discord server, so you can find new channels. You will find the roadmap report channel where we report what is going out. For example, today in the Atlas Start, that it's literally an update on all our products. Then we have a new category called events, where you can actually keep track of all the events that are going on in the Star Atlas, both community, project, and everything. So you will be able to keep track, and you can react to the message that is there, so you don't miss a single event, and you get all the pings on the events we have going on. Then we also improved the welcome category. So if you are new, you're listening here and you are new and you're wondering like, what is Star Atlas or how can I learn more? You will see in the welcome category all the channels and all the information that you need to get started. So you can just go there, click on Learn the Basics, for example, and take a look at the videos that Ash created for us. Big shout out to Ash. And they're awesome and they literally inform you on everything that you need to get started with Star Atlas. Then another thing we're doing is showroom picture of the week. That's going in the community Twitter. So if you want to actually be featured in the showroom picture of the week, you just need to post your showroom pictures in the showroom pictures channel that is in the showroom category right above here. Just scroll a little bit up and you will find it. And if you want to be featured, just post your showroom pictures in there. Michael, I don't know how you do it, man. Now I need to get a sip of water, man. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Take a breath, get some water. You want me to cover the airtime for you here?
No, I got it. Thank you, man. Thank you. We also did a revamp to the Atlas Brew, so we changed the schedule. So it's happening still every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. UTC, but you will have the schedule ahead of time, and we'll be discussing a specific topic so you can actually be informed of everything that we'll be speaking about. And if you don't know what the Atlas Brew is, it's a weekly event that happens for the Star Atlas community, the core community. We chat in there. We brainstorm and theory craft about stuff. We actually take notes on everything that we chat about and then send that to the team. So it's a place where you can get your voice heard in the community. And we think it's awesome. So we just wanted to give it a revamp and an upgrade. Then another thing that is happening for the Star Atlas community is the Lisbon meetup. So if you're going to be in Lisbon on the 6th and you want to meet me and the community, we're doing a meetup. We'll be providing more information as we get closer to the date. But if you want to keep track of everything, it's in the events category. You will see Meetup Lisbon. And if you live in Lisbon or you're close and you want to just come by and say hi and meet me and some team members will be there. I know I'm throwing Brett on the spot here, but Brett is going to be joining us probably. And just meet me, meet the community. It's going to be fun. We're going to get some beers and it will be an awesome event. Then also there's a new forum and feedback system channel in the Discord. So if you want to provide some feedback on the different products that we have, just go to the feedback and bug report channel category, sorry, and you will find the channels so you can actually report on everything that you have. And this, of course, gets escalated to the team, and we get fixes and feedback. The feedback that you provide, we get it. You get heard by the team. So that is another awesome thing that we just added. Also, Chimera, I wanted to give a shout out to Chimera. They are doing a meetup in Madrid, and that is awesome. They are doing it really professional. So again, if you are in Madrid, this is happening on the 5th of November, and big shout out to Chimera. They are crushing it, and I love it. I love it. And well, it's the first time I think a guild has a meetup. So really looking forward to see how it plays out. Then shout out to Stick and EO for the Spanish Star Atlas Brew. That is awesome. We get the same format, but in Spanish. So just if you speak Spanish, si hablas español, just tune in on Tuesdays to the Spanish speaking brew. Then I don't want to forget our content creators. I just want to give a shout out before we move to the next topic. I want to give a huge shout out to our content creators. We love you and appreciate and check everything you post. So just a few shout outs here: Metaverse Nomads, Atlas Theory, Shadix, Archetype, Metaverse Explorer, Sigi, Lloyd, OGC Tor, Cal, Ades from Star Atlas Spanish, and Morpheus. I hope I'm not missing anyone. If I didn't mention you, I'm sorry, but we really appreciate you, and all the team looks at the content that you guys are putting out there, and we love it. So that's actually all from me on community updates. Swang, I will kick it back to you so we can cover some 4 to 6 recap, right?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Santi. So, and just echoing the sentiment there from you, Santi, absolutely loving seeing all of the community generated content out there. It's I do spend a lot of my evenings getting caught up on YouTube videos and on Twitter. So absolutely loving seeing what is being created. And I have to say, I mean, I'm pretty surprised. We're getting a lot of mileage out of the showroom, but it feels so good, not only for myself, but everybody on the team that's working so hard to create these products and in the game environment, to see so much excitement and enthusiasm out there. So that kind of segues into the next segment, which is just a little recap of the viewership that we encountered during 426. I think probably everyone knows, most people on the town hall know that we hosted our second 426 live event of the year back on September 29th. This was accompanied with 6 major product launches. I won't go into those, but if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to go back and watch the recording of that. But in any event, during the event, we did have 1,400 concurrent viewers on Twitch during the live stream, and there were some 2,200 comments made over the course of the presentations. On Twitch itself, the recorded broadcast received over 8,000 total views, and that's across 3,100 unique viewers. Obviously, some people are watching this more than once, which which is encouraging. On YouTube, the event and recording has been viewed by nearly 7,000 viewers with 325 likes. And one of the internal metrics that our business intelligence unit tracks pretty frequently is a net promoter score or community sentiment metrics. And they do that by analyzing via API calls various communications throughout social media. And one of the things that was probably most encouraging to me just coming off of 426 Live was seeing a peak NPS score of 4.93, and that's out of 5. And this is really off the charts. You'd never really see that high of a net promoter score out there. And so for us, again, just incredibly motivating to see the positive response, positive feedback. And I think what we've been able to establish through that event is a deep sense of credibility throughout the community. And you know, just on the tail end of that, this was just the first of many major releases coming, with a couple more major releases coming before the end of the year. Excuse me. So that's it on the 426 recap. I'm sure we'll be publishing some more information about that going into the future, but I just really want to thank everyone out there again in the community for the strong support and the positive response we received there.
Yeah, man. All-time high in sentiment is it's awesome. We love to see it. And just echoing what you said, Michael, I appreciate all the support, and we literally wouldn't be here without you guys. So just echoing you on that one, Michael.
100%. And I know everybody's pretty excited about Solana Breakpoint, and I might add that you know, we've collaborated pretty closely with Solana since inception. Obviously, we were very early adopters there, going back to November of 2020, and so we've had a strong relationship with their team. But as they've grown and we've focused on our efforts, we haven't been able to work as closely as perhaps we would have liked to. But following the 426 event, and I don't know if these are directly correlated or not, they actually reached out directly to us. And they requested our presence at Breakpoint. We hadn't originally planned on attending this year, just as we've been so incredibly busy on development. But given that outreach and the stage time that they wanted to provide to us, we thought it would be wholly appropriate to bring a small strike team out there and make sure we present on behalf of Star Atlas. And so I just wanted to outline for everyone today exactly what we have going on. I won't go into elaborate detail, but just so everyone is aware of the timing and the various presentations that we have opportunities to participate in. This will be starting on November 4th. They have a game stadium, and this is technically before the actual Solana Breakpoint event starts. But this is an entire day dedicated to gaming companies, studios, projects that are building on Solana. And they did allocate to us one of 8 slots, speaker slots, for a 45-minute game demo presentation. What's really cool about this one is it's really less presenting and it's letting the tech and the product speak for itself. So the way this one is going to work is just a 5-minute introduction to the project itself. and there will be 8 professional esports players on stage on separate machines that will have access to an early version of our R2 release for the showroom. Now, I've made comments in Discord about this, at least in the foundation room, but I can tell you the the feature enhancement that's coming in R2 is going to be absolutely mind blowing. With as excited as everyone is for the current version of Showroom, the R1 release, R2 is just going to elevate this to an entirely new level. So things that will be coming with this include the ability to, well, it's a tournament for a race course with X4s. So the race course will be built directly into the showroom, as well as a standalone dogfighting arena also on the X4. And now this is pure PvE, a player versus environment, but it's an opportunity for players to hone in their maneuverability, their skills, their shooting, their targeting, and dodging and evading opponents. So coming back to it though, it's 5-minute intro. It is 10 to 15 minutes where we'll be participating in the race course with a global leaderboard and tracking of times, and then it's going to complete with the dogfighting arena, and then actually one of our guests on stage with us today, Brett, as well as Jim Carter, who many of you will have seen in the 426 F-Kit presentation. They'll both be on stage talking through the blockchain architecture at Star Atlas with an emphasis on the foundation kit or the F-Kit. As you all know, I think we really elevate the integration of blockchain into everything that we do to a level that's not really seen across any other blockchain game. Truly utilizing Solana blockchain to the fullest extent possible as a game server for this environment. In addition to that, though, we do also have Twitch streaming booths on the floor, and R2 content from Showroom will be streamed there. We have a games booth where our team will be, and we'll be presenting content from really across the Star Atlas ecosystem throughout the conference. And Santi, I think we have a link here as well.
Yes, that's
yeah.
just going a little back. You were mentioning that this is all happening on the 4th, correct? November 4th.
This is just on the 4th. There's more to come, but yes,
Yes.
that's just on the 4th. This is the first day, the game stadium.
So let me know if I'm correct, Michael, if I'm understanding correctly. You don't need to pay Breakpoint to attend this event. You just need to apply via form that we are going to drop now in Townhall chat.
That's absolutely correct. This is a free event, open to the community. You do have to register to attend. If you're interested, and to Santi's earlier point, if you are going to be in Lisbon, I would highly encourage you to complete this form as soon as possible. The spots are filling up quickly. I think they have capacity for something like 500 people, and I know it's filling up quickly. So definitely get your registration in if you'll be around.
Yeah, we just dropped the form in the Townhall chat, so go take a look there if you want to apply. And yeah, good luck.
Yeah, and so of course we'll be around for the entirety of the conference itself, and we'll be networking and meeting with teams and seeking out partnerships and just communicating the vision of Star Atlas. But on the final day, on November 7th, and this will be at 3:15 p.m. UTC. Obviously, there's some subjectivity and timing. It is subject to change possibly, but currently scheduled 3:15 UTC. I'll be on stage for a 20-minute keynote presentation where I will comprehensively cover everything that's going on across the Star Atlas ecosystem as well. And I'll be talking through not only things like corporate architecture and our business units, blockchain architecture, opportunities for tangential development or expansion, this composability of the Star Atlas ecosystem. But there's going to be a lot of major releases and reveals showcasing upcoming game content across both Scream as well as across our Unreal Engine environment, and a very special announcement related to the graphic novel. So if nothing else, these will all be live streamed, so I certainly encourage you to watch the live streams or come connect with us in person if you're out there. And finally, I think it's absolutely incredible, these community meetups that are going on, the AFIA event with Funcracker. Thank you for putting that on. ChimeraCon looks super, super cool. I will just say this, time permitting, the team and I will be attempting to make our way out to these events. We'd love to spend some time out there with the community. So not exactly sure what the schedule looks like, but if we're able to, we will attend those and meet up with you guys.
Awesome. Awesome, man. I hope you can join us. That would be really nice actually, Michael. I will be guys, don't worry, I will be pushing for Michael to come with us. Like I'm going to bother Michael a lot. So don't worry about that.
Best efforts to get there for sure. Certainly want to attend. So, okay, I've got a bit more here, and I know we want to get into the interview with Brett. I'm going to run through just some of the project updates. I'll keep this
One
relatively
second, Michael. Can I stop you real quick? Can I stop you
sure.
real quick? Because we
Yeah.
have a Fimble Lovey video that we want to share with the
Oh
people.
man. Yeah.
You skip
Let's
that
do it.
part, Michael. Come on. You
Oh
don't want to share
man.
the alpha now. You don't want to.
I want to save it all for Breakpoint, but no, let's share with people right now. This one's going to absolutely blow you away. This is the current in-engine version of the Fimble Lobby. Um, this is, by the way, not completely finished in terms of graphical fidelity, but just are we linking this in Town Hall, Santi? I haven't
It's
seen.
in announcements. It's in
It's in
announcements. So,
announcements. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have another comment on this. I'm going to hold for now, but just this is absolutely incredible. Oh, we have, okay, that's why we have the detailed, the textured version of this coming up later. Little teaser, but yeah, this stuff is, these models are looking so good.
Yeah.
Seeing
So
these
if
come
you
along.
if you want to take a look at what we're speaking, you go to scroll all the way up to announcements, and you will see the female lobby video. But this is not the only thing we're going to share today. So we'll be letting you know when we share more stuff, and we have more female lobby stuff. So yeah, Michael, I'll let you continue now. Sorry for interrupting you, man.
Dominic, I see your comment there. I'm very good at announcing announcements. So thank you for recognizing that. But yes, moving along, project updates. I think we also have sent out the Atlas Star today. So it's a um, really thoroughly drafted Atlas Star this time around, and this is part of our new, tri-weekly schedule on content releases that includes not only these town halls and Atlas Star, as well as some special content releases coming on the third week. So this one is fantastic. I've just had an opportunity to review it actually before jumping on the town hall today. So there will
Yeah.
be some detailed updates for all of the projects, but what I wanted to specifically discuss today was really just some of the kind of the transition. Now, um, we have dedicated teams working on various environments throughout the company, and the majority of those teams completed major projects in preparation for 426 Live, which means now they're in the process of transitioning to the next tasks and next features that need to be built out. So I will focus first a little bit on the what we call the portal. And so this is play.staratlas.com. And with the new menu system there, it gives you the access to the showroom, to the Screen Fleet Viewer, to the marketplace, to the DAO, as well as the sign up link for the graphic novel. But coming soon in that, and Brett will actually speak to this a bit, as I believe he was the principal architect on the new player profile system. And
Don't
what
spoil
this
it, Swiner. I know what you want to do.
I won't spoil too much. Let me just and I'm not going to be able to elegantly describe it like Brett will, but effectively what this is the unification of multiple wallets under a single profile now for the player, which means that if you have multiple accounts, for example, that are locking Polis in at different durations, all of those can be aggregated into a single profile, and then you'll be able to utilize that combined balance during gameplay wherever Polis and PvP is required. This will also unlock the name selection and registration process. I know everybody's waiting for that one, so that'll be coming soon. And one of the things that's really exciting for me about this, and I feel like this was kind of an ancillary benefit because of the way it was structured, but this is essentially also enables the primitive for lending and scholarship dApps to be developed. Now, I will caveat that and emphasize here again, we will not be building any of the specific DeFi features that provide various forms of financial management for the community. But with this primitive, it is now possible for someone to go out and build a lending program, or to enable the DAO, for example, to purchase some ships and participate in a scholarship program that allows for free-to-play new user acquisition into the ecosystem. That was a recommendation that someone from the community brought up. I apologize, I don't know who made that comment previously, but it's an idea that I absolutely love. In addition to that, we are in the early stages of completing work on the DAC platform, the Decentralized Autonomous Corporation or Guild system. And this will enable multi-sig wallet management, your guild registration process, alongside other guild management features like adding players and removing players, promoting or demoting members, as well as the DAC leaderboards. And there will also be, we're working on having a dedicated page for each guild to be able to showcase themselves directly through this portal site. So once again, play.staratlas.com, you will have a page that you can configure and edit where you can promote yourself as a guild there. In addition to that, they're working on some general UX improvements, and another major focus for that team, although this is dependent on one of the other internal projects we're working on, is to enable the historical transaction chart. So people will see in each one of the markets across the marketplace, the trading history and value over trend lines over time. So those are all things that are in development just from the portal team. Moving along to the DAO, there's the mandate right now is to focus primarily on some usability and UX improvements. This includes things like an updated chart system for reward claims. We're also undertaking a pretty big initiative to restructure the Wallet Connect functionality. Whereas currently it's profile in a standalone tab. This is going to be moving over to a modal system, and it will be unified across all environments across Star Atlas, which includes the way that you connect, for example, to the portal, play.staratlas.com, the DAO, and any other front ends that we release going into the future. And I'm super excited for this one myself. We will be rolling out dark mode in a future release as well. Another major priority going into the end of the year is the completion of the Treasury reports page. You'll be able to see things like the balances in the Treasury of Atlas and USDC, as well as revenue tracking. And keep in mind, revenue right now is flowing into the DAO through both R4 sales, as well as through the DAO share of all of the marketplace transaction fees. So the DAO is already collecting income. I think it's something like 350 million Atlas in there, and I don't know, probably 10,000 or 15,000 USDC, something like that. So this is all capital that Polis stakeholders via PvP will be able to direct and control in how best to utilize that for the growth of the ecosystem, which goes into the next part, which is a spend tracker. So we'll be able to identify exactly where any outflows from that treasury, where they are going, and what the purpose of that spend was. And then separately, we're going to have a dedicated section to the reward emissions wallets. So presently, and per the economic as well as the white paper, 65% of the total Atlas supply and 40% of the total Polis supply was allocated to game emissions, including DAO participation and Polis locking. We'll have a section that outlines the current balance of those as well as the distributions from that wallet. These are pre-committed. This is not necessarily something that we anticipate the community modifying, although in time it is possible that the community would be able to change, say, perhaps the quantity of emissions over time for various activities of gameplay and kind of reallocate and play around with all of that. And finally, in addition to that, we're also in the process of early stage planning for the full governance functionality. So the governance channel was created shortly after the last 426 event. That's been quite an active channel. I don't actively contribute there very often, but I do read through all of the commentary, and I know that there's a lot of interest and excitement around the new council system that's coming. And on our end, we're also working through the public forum, which there's a couple of options available to us, but this is essentially where new proposals would initially be introduced and then curated by the council, as well as a prioritization system on which issues are most important to people. And then that moves into the actual proposal system on chain and the voting process, wherein these can actually get passed, prioritized, and implemented for future changes to the ecosystem. So a couple more things here, Santi, really quickly.
Wow, man.
And
Let
then-
me interrupt you real quick, but man, this feels like a real OG Townhall, man. Like all the updates, everything. I love it. I love it. I'm just
Well,
letting you talk, man. I'm letting you share the alpha. I'm not stopping you. If you need help, if you need to take a sip, as always, sip of water, just let me know. But yeah, man, I love these OG Townhall vibes. I love it.
we haven't had a town hall in so long. Everybody's like holding me back. I will just share everything if I'm able to. So
We know. We know.
all right. So a couple quick things on the showroom, the R2 client that is on the horizon. And as I said, this is going during Breakpoint. This is going to be an early access version of this, so not feature complete just yet, but very, very close. Some of the new features coming out alongside this include multiplayer. Super exciting. And multiplayer
Yes.
consists of being able to host your own instance, both private or open. So you can elect to invite people to your instance, or you can just leave it open and anybody can join, or you separately can join an open multiplayer instance as well. There will be text chat, proximity voice chat. There's a really, really cool updated photo mode, a highly configurable photo mode. There will be skin and character selections. As I mentioned, there's going to be a race course with a global leaderboard tracking the quickest to get through that race course. There's this isolated dog fighting arena. And there will be at least 2 feature complete ships, which include the X4 and the free Floyd liner. Now, the Floyd liner is not an NFT. It's essentially a default ship that everyone will have access to when they're first entering the showroom, at least for now. And with that said, though, there are a number of ships that are in progress. There's 12 in total, based on the last numbers that I saw that are currently in progress. And so the whole idea behind this showroom is that we continuously and iteratively add those new features and make improvements. And you as the player get to see those updates seamlessly through Epic Games Store. So I want to close on the Unreal Engine client with some private words from Danny Floyd. Now he doesn't know that I'm sharing these, but but I'm going to do it anyway.
Sneaky Sneaky
He,
Slagner,
he,
classic.
well, he sent this message to us in a small group chat, and what he said is, we are setting the standard for space game asset design, not just in blockchain, but across all games. He said future game developers will benchmark their work against the work of Star Atlas. And I feel like that's pretty powerful. And that's actually a great opportunity to share those other Lobby images now, Santi.
Yes, this is the call to action for Dominic to go and share the Fimble Lobby images. These are in engine. Like the ones we're showing now, they are in engine, guys, and
Okay.
it's crazy. And it's crazy. That's all I'm going to say. But Michael, you just shared everything, man. Like you said, racing with global leaderboard, dog fighting, multiplayer, proximity chat. Man, like, whew, I love it. I love
It's
it.
it's a huge step up, and I know we noted this previously, but the current version of the showroom was essentially feature complete actually as early as June of this year, and for a number of strategic reasons, we delayed the release of that. What it meant though was that we were continuously developing, and so R2 has actually been in development for some time while we were feature locked on R1, and so that's why we're seeing this dramatic improvement. But with that said, and Danny's commented on this a number of times, these what we're building through the showroom right now is the establishment of a lot of our content production pipelines. And so while we were busy architecting all of those since inception, keep in mind we had to grow a team from scratch. We didn't have an existing studio. So while we were growing the team, building the team, and working on this global coordination of a fully remote workforce of 233 people, we're also establishing all of the content production pipelines. However, once that is essentially refined, now moving forward, I would expect a faster pace of development. Although, what that means is we can either roll out smaller features quicker, or we can create more comprehensive, bigger environments and roll those out in a more consistent timeline. So it's exciting. I don't want to overpromise anything here on timelines, but it is exciting to see these pipelines all coming into their own.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, I love it. Before Michael, I know you're on it, man. You're on it. I love it. But before I want everyone to go to announcements, take a deep breath, and take a look at the Fimble lobby. Guys, go to announcement now. This is in engine. This is in engine, and this is not even the final form that this Fimble lobby will have. So
Yeah.
just enjoy it. I mean, it's awesome. It looks really cool, and the Fimble lobby is looking sexier and sexier, man. Like, I love it.
It looks amazing, and yeah, to your point, this isn't fully detailed out yet. There's going to be significantly more detail in this, and but it looks absolutely amazing already. But you know what I like about the Fimble lobby, and I've mentioned this in the past, but and I think all transport vehicles, I'm really looking forward to the age of Star Atlas where it really is this digital society of sorts, and it is this open metaverse, and we have events going on, maybe concerts being played, and just imagine, a couple 100,000 new users or 1 million new users come in to experience one of these concerts, but they don't own any ships, right? But perhaps they need to transport themselves some way off of a space station to wherever the venue is where this concert's being performed, and somebody with a fleet of these lobies, that can be the taxi service back and forth, right? And I just think that's really cool that we can unlock this real economic potential through all the things that we're building here at Star Atlas.
I love it, man. That's a good idea. I'm sure someone is going to do it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up, Discord is acting a little bit laggy for me, so you know that sometimes it just restarts. So if it restarts, don't worry, I will be right back. I don't know when this is going to happen, but I know my Discord, so I'm just giving the heads up to you and to Brett as well.
You're getting
But
the
now,
early warning signs.
yeah, early warning, but yeah, now we can continue, Michael. We can continue.
Okay, great. I mean, I really do just have one more thing here. I just wanted to finish talking a little bit about Scream. Uh, and I'm just going to mention here that we are still on track. We're targeting an end of the year release. It's entirely possible that this extends into Q1 of next year, but we are all hands on deck moving towards an end of year initial release. A couple of key points here. First and foremost, we've noted this, but there is no persistent or real economic loops in this first version of the game. You can think of this as the alpha test or beta test, but it does give you the opportunity to get in and start to engage in the gameplay mechanics and learn a little bit about how Scream will operate. How are we doing that? Well, we still want to do this fully on chain. And again, Brett, coming up shortly, was involved in the construction of a lot of the on-chain programs that were built for this. I think it's something like 5 or 6 right now, but and that was consolidated down from 10 or 12. But we're launching this on DevNet on Solana. And so all of the assets will technically be, real blockchain assets. They just won't carry through to mainnet. So we get a good understanding of the functionality of all of those programs, of the functionality of the economics, of the gameplay mechanics and balance themselves, and essentially we'll have an opportunity to at least do all of this on chain. Now, I will open this up to feedback, so please feel free to drop your comments to us. There's a couple of different approaches that we can take to asset distribution as we go into a DevNet launch. And that could consist of a one-to-one distribution of all of the same ships that you have in your mainnet portfolio and delivering those to you on DevNet. Again, they have no real value, but we essentially copy and paste your current portfolio over there. or alternatively, and I'm pretty much in favor of this, but don't let me influence you, of kind of a paper portfolio where everyone starts with the exact same set of assets, and through that system, we can actually run little competitions wherein we can kind of identify who was able to excel the most over any given period of time or epoch. So again, either your exact portfolio or a fixed default portfolio of ships that everyone gets into their DevNet wallet. So finally, all of the game systems, the econ, these are largely defined, and we're essentially feature scoped right now, and everything's in dev, and we're just working through system scalability and making sure this is going to be an enjoyable experience for you all. So with that, Santi, signing out. I'll be listening in, but that is all for me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you, man. Thank you for all the updates. We had a lot. It's been long since the last Townhall. So, yeah, Michael, thank you for all the updates. I'm sure that we had people in the audience taking notes, and we'll be digesting all this throughout probably next week. So, awesome, Michael. Thank you so much. And now, I think it's time for the interview with Brad. Brad, my man, how are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Spoiled a bit there, but
Yeah. Exactly, but we still have
it's
some
building
cool
up the hype.
stuff, man. Yeah, that's the stronger way, man. That's the stronger way. It's like that. It's like that. But
You
yeah,
know,
man,
Brett, it's your first time on the town hall, so you'll come to find I do this all the time.
yeah, man. But I'm super happy to have you here, Brett. I'm sure the community is going to absolutely love you because you're a rock star, man. You're a rock star. But I'm not going to spoil anything, so I'm already did his part. So let's get straight into the questions, man. So tell me a little bit. Let's start with an easy one. Tell me a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, so my career in developing Solana started at a company called Identity. They work closely with Civic, if you know them, and I was doing a lot of protocol development over there. Started going on the Hacker House circuit with Solana and going around. The first one, I met Jordan, Pit the Panda, from Solana, now his own development studio, working on all of that. He was working on Candy Machine V2 at the time, and trying to implement a CAPTCHA service. And we had kind of a CAPTCHA thing going on, so I told him that I bet we could implement it in there faster. So, and he said, prove it. And I got to the point where now we that was integrated in and helped us with the development of that back then. Next Hacker House met one of the other blockchain engineers, and he started trying to convince me to come over to Star Atlas, and kept wearing me down, and realized all the cool stuff that was going on, so I popped over.
Shout out to Michael Kane, right?
Yep. Kane is great. He's good
Awesome.
good at that job.
He convinced you, right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome, man. We are super happy to have you on the team, man. We're super happy to have you on the team, and now the committee will know why. So now that you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit on what you're working on in Star Atlas.
Yeah, my job title is blockchain architect. So I'm the one responsible for all the Scream architecture. It's that kind of goes wide now because there's a lot of systems in Scream that touch everything we do, such as the player profiles that we mentioned before. But also I help out with a lot of the other projects going on. So my main job right now is designing out the blockchain architecture for Scream and how all that works together.
Awesome. So your main thing right now is Scream, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm curious, and I know the committee they're curious as well. So tell us a little bit about what it is like to work in Scream. How do you guys work?
Yeah, so our main task really is to communicate or to translate what the world-class game designers and economists come up with for the game into something we can actually put on the blockchain. Now, Scream is all on chain, right? So every system, every transaction, everything that has to happen has to end up on chain. So most of it is translating over, but part of it's also going back and saying, hey, if we rework this system this way, or if here's why we can't do that. So working together with them on that task. So a lot of Scream is just making the game that they want to make.
That is awesome. So they say, okay, we want something like this, and you tell them basically we can do this in the chain, or nah, there's no chance, right? It works a little bit like that.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of communication of like, what is your goal with this? Like, if we change it slightly, that doesn't actually Like if we change one system slightly, that doesn't make it different for them, but makes it completely different for us. Like there's a lot of conversations that happen around there.
Yeah. So something that you mentioned was that Scream is actually everything on chain. Everything is hosted in the Solana blockchain, correct? All the game.
The entire game, everything. So when you go into combat, that's on chain. When you move your ships, when you trade, when you craft, when you do anything, that's all on chain. And it's not our game server uploading to the chain. The chain is the authority of this. The chain holds all the game logic, says, no, you couldn't have moved that. No, you couldn't have done this. Yes, you can do this. All of that.
Wow.
So the blockchain is the authority, and it's censorship resistant, so that means our backend is open, censorship resistant, all of that.
Yeah. I know we kind of covered it, but how revolutionary do you think that the Scream will actually be for blockchain tech in general?
So looking through it, Scream is probably the most complicated blockchain project that has ever been created, other than building a full L0 or L1. Scream is like it encompasses now 8 programs total working together, 2 really core ones and a few others that are usable in other applications. It's complicated, the systems that work together. We're like probably leagues ahead of most other projects in what we're doing with the blockchain. There's some tech that, especially player profiles, that we're releasing soon that will be kind of revolutionary, I think, in how things are done on the chain.
That's actually really interesting what you say at first. The most complex system ever built on chain, correct?
I think so. I'm building it. I hope I'm right.
Yeah, man, that's actually awesome. So after you said all this, I think it's a good moment for us to post some work in progress images from Scream. For today, we have some concept art for Scream. So Dom, if you can make the honors. Again, guys, this is just concept art that we wanted to share with you, and we're posting it on announcements. So you can go to announcements now and take a look. So now, Brett, back here. So you're saying that this is super complex. So this creates a follow-up question for me, which is what are actually the main challenges that we're facing with Scream?
So we have a couple things that like really are different for how you develop a blockchain game versus a normal game. So sorry about my dogs in the background, but
No problem, man. No problem. I totally understand.
so the first one is that like most game like design paradigms don't work, right? On chain, what you have is like normal game design paradigms is that you have like an event or a loop that's going like every 60 times a second, constantly calculating, okay, this guy moved, now he's here, now he's here, now he's here, now he's here, all of that. So when you look at like World of Warcraft or any game like that, it's going to be there's a looping server just calculating everything, every single loop. That's not really possible on chain. There's account limits, there's compute limits. We're very compute constrained on what we have to do. So it's what we have to do is build effectively an event-based system where every time a user does an event, that's when we actually have any kind of compute that we have available. So we calculate everything. Effectively, what we do is when a user does an event, we calculate everything that happened since the last event associated with that. So that gets very complicated very fast. Yeah. But we're working through it to build these systems to help us do that. Now, I said there's a couple things here. So the other thing is tooling. So tooling isn't quite there for on-chain games. Like we're leagues ahead right now. So the tooling that we have, like Anchor is really nice, right? Anchor is super nice to build Solana programs with, but it's kind of, there are some edge cases that it struggles with when you get to very large programs and very, very heavy compute tasks and things like that. So it's not the most scalable right now, but we're building Scream in it, and so we effectively have a custom version that we are breaking and fixing things in. We also have 8 different programs interacting, right? Like one of those being player profiles, which is kind of the biggest one we have that we're talking about now.
Yeah, so this is something new. Player profiles. Michael, as always, he likes to spoil things a little bit, so he actually mentioned it a little bit before. But let's get into detail of it. So, can you explain to us what is player profiles and actually what functionality does this provide to Stratless?
Yeah, so if any one of the blockchain engineers that we have working on this stuff, if you ask any one of them, they'll give you a different answer about what player profiles the best feature of it is. But the thing about it that I find is it's really simple. Like the idea of it is that it's just a list of keys. So I'm going to back up for a second and say, what issue does this really solve? Why did it come up? So when we were talking about like, okay, how do we manage these large accounts that users have, the normal method on Solana is to have this one key. Like you have your one wallet key that you use, and that's your identity for everything. Like you go to a serum market and you trade, and that's your key. That's the key that it sends your money back to. But that brings up many issues with a game. When your movement on chain is a transaction, do you want to pull out your ledger every time to sign a transaction saying, yes, I want to move? Yeah,
Definitely
exactly. But you also don't want to have these large valued assets in a hot wallet, really. Like you want the ledger security, but you want to be able to play the game. So what we came up with is this player profile system that says that we can do effectively, you can have many keys on this that each have different permission levels, all acting as you. So you can have your ledger, right, be the highest permission key, that the only one that's allowed to pull your ships out or pull out or do giant economic harm. But you can have another key that's, let's say, a phantom key that is allowed to craft, and then another key that's even lower permission that says like this one can move, and this one's like set up for auto signing, where you can just click and it automatically moves and automatically sends the transaction and all of this happens. So you get the auto sign capability along with the security of having a ledger.
That's actually awesome. So let's digest this. Like we are 5. So basically, you will be able to have your assets secure in your ledger, but at the same time play the game by having a hot wallet key. So you can actually you can have your assets safe because the permissions for the ledger will be moving the ships. Only with the ledger you can move the ships out of that wallet, right?
Yep. So it applies across our entire ecosystem too. Like all of our new products and all developments that we have going forward, the way we designed it is it's just a simple drop-in replacement for a wallet. We have that with an extra few lines of code, we can swap it in there, and now all of our systems have this level of functionality.
Awesome. That's awesome. So you can actually have your assets secure and have auto sign on, because you can't actually get them out unless you use the ledger.
Mm-hmm. And exactly.
That's awesome. That's a huge improvement. And we are open sourcing this, right?
Yeah, this is going to be open source soon. I'll say soon by Breakpoint. Got a few more tests to do on there, but it's going to be out there. And the way it's designed is it's extremely open. So the way you integrate this into your program, and then it just works without a CPI call, without that. I can go over a couple of the additions. There's only 2 extra instruction bytes to integrate it. It's 5,000 compute and 1 extra account. So if you're a Solana developer, you kind of know what that means. It's very low overhead to add this. And then this profile can be used across apps that integrate it. So if we get third-party apps that want to use it, it's open source. They can just use it, and it doesn't change the permissioning on any other level of any of your other keys. It's usable across all these apps.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. So maybe we missed, just going back on with this question because we maybe missed, but what other things are going to be possible because of this, like outside Stratless, like also bigger things? I don't know. You kind of touched on that.
Yeah. So it's since the system's effectively like a reverse multi-sig, like you have many wallets acting as one, you're able to do things like, as Wagner's mentioned, the lending system kind of becomes a primitive for that. Like, what if you don't just add your own keys? What if you add other people's keys to your profile? What if there are groups of hundreds of people that are all on one profile acting as one, but each one has different permissions on different fleets, different systems, all of that, different levels. So these profiles are not locked to a single wallet. They're, as a single wallet, I can have many profiles that I'm on. I can also have many wallets on one profile. So there's a many-to-many relationship here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of complex permissioning that you can do, and third parties can build programs on top of this to add more permissioning like capabilities. Like the itself, the code is very, very simple. When it's open source, I can show you where you guys can take a look. It's very simple code, but the implications are vast.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think we're going to need to get you on an Atlas Brew or something to digest this later when you open source it, because I'm sure there will be a lot of questions actually.
Yeah, I think
So
it's good.
does this interacts a little bit with DAX as well, right? With guilds.
Yeah, so DACs really are going to be just a DAC is a player profile with some that is a collection of other player profiles, right? So the DAC can act as if it was a player in every game, every other application we make, with permissioning based on other levels. Like, this guy's level, he can he's allowed to act as this fleet, but next level, this guy's allowed as this fleet. There's a lot. It's like another layer of permissions on top. Also, it's a little bit more overhead to support DACs, but we're going to be there to support it.
Awesome. So we are running out of time, but I'm sure, Brad, we'll get you on another show probably in the Atlas Brew, because I know the community has a lot of questions. And once we open source it, we can probably go through the code and everything. So that would be cool if you're down to join, man. You have
Happy
awesome. So let's two more questions, man. Two more questions. Let's get outside this technical part of the interview and tell me why do you like working at Stratlas? What motivates you to work here?
Well, jump right back into the tech. I love working on this super advanced technology that we're working on. Like when we talk about internally about like what we're doing, and then we look at what like the newest developments are, we're like, oh, that happened a few months ago, right? That we did that a couple months ago already. Okay, let's move on. And we're like ahead and advancing faster and faster about everything we're doing. We are being the bleeding edge, and I love working on just the most advanced stuff we can.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I love it, man. I love it. I feel a little bit dumb, man, but I love it. I love it. I really enjoy working with people like you, man. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
So just to close, man, let's close here with the easiest one. The easiest one, probably. But I don't know if it's the easiest one. But what will be your role in game?
I will probably be exploring around, finding new systems, and I love the idea of finding like, oh, here's a random wreck of a ship, and being able to go back on the chain and see the history of it and see the story of how this ship changed hands 100 times, fought 100 battles, and now is just sitting in this backwater system. Like, I'd love to be able to go around and explore and find those kind of stories. That sounds super cool to me.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. So yeah, man, I mean, just it was amazing to have you here in the Townhall, man. I'm sure the community loves you already, and you're a genius, man. Let me tell you, you're an absolute rock star. And yeah, and I'm really happy to be able to interview you, man. Thank you for coming.
Oh, it's a blast. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. So, Swagner, any closing thoughts after everything that the Brett mentioned?
Well, hey man, it's been no, I mean Brett, very well done. Thank you again for joining us on stage. But it has been a while since we've done a town hall. Why don't we just take an extra 5 minutes or so? Let's see if we can get you guys know I like to get questions for the guests. So Santi, why don't we take 2 questions maybe?
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We'll try to do one for Brett and then one just any question goes.
Yeah, for sure. So if you have a question for Brett, raise your hand now. I'm sure there are a lot of questions. So if we get a question for Brett, or you have a question, raise your hand in the amphitheater, and we'll let you in. We'll let you in. Just waiting to see if anyone. Okay, I see 2 people. Bodhi, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Santi. Brent, I just had a question to the ledger capabilities with the larger assets. You were talking about, kind of having, the ability to interact similar to as if you had the assets on the hot wallet. Could you speak a little bit more to that? Like, for example, if we're trying to use a tree arrow and, trying to use it without signing the ledger, what would be some of the limitations? It's that I didn't quite follow that fully as far as how how far can you go in, kind of maybe even like automating those transactions?
Yeah. So effectively, the question I hear is like how far do the permissions go? How deep? How much can we use this? So the way it generally works when you want to use like the ledger for security, but then having hot wallet for everything else, is you can set each key to have different levels of permissions and different scopes of permissions as well. So you can scope a key to be like only this fleet or all of Scream or only this Starbase or things like that. And then also have separate permissions like this key can move, this key can remove from the game, this key can trade, all of that. So that it's all of that within one profile. So the reason the security comes up is that you can have the ledger with only permissions to remove from the game. That's the only key you have that can remove the ship. Otherwise, the ship is like perfectly safe in the game. You can always remove it later. While the hot wallet can move it around, which has less of an impact. Now, all of this is configurable user by user. You can set whatever permissions you want to set on these. We just have a list of them that you're allowed to set, and we're pretty much putting a permission on everything. So you can set, if you feel like movement is too risky for you to put on a hot wallet, then don't put it there. That's up to you. That's entirely up to the user on how they do that. And to the automation perspective, if you put the key of some automation system on there, you can limit that key to only like, it's only allowed to move this one fleet. And then when, oh no, I wrote a bug in my automation system and it tried to just burn all my ships, that can't happen because you didn't give it that many permissions. So
that's incredible. Yeah, this is totally revolutionary. Super impressed. Yeah. Thank you.
And again, open sourced, other projects can totally use it once it's up, and it'll be up soon.
Amazing. And just one final little quick question. As far as the badges, how will that play in? It seems like that's all pretty much sorted. The badges will apply across the account, right? Or is there any issues there?
We're still talking about specifically how to support it, but we are aware. We're definitely going to find a way that will be beneficial to everyone.
Incredible. Well done, guys. Good job.
Awesome. Thank you, Bodhi, for the question. And thank you, Brett, for the answer. So one last one from Funcracker.
Yeah, first of all, this is insane, Brad. I mean, this is really, really, mind-blowing stuff. Super cool, super cool. So I have a very simple question, actually, just to wrap stuff up for today. Will there be some kind of extension to the factory package, let's say, to interact with the player profiles? So it will be possible to interact with that in some way off-chain as well?
Oh yeah. So that's a core aspect. That's what I was working on actually a few minutes ago. So awesome. the factory, there's a lot of updates coming to factory, especially with Scream. Scream has many programs, many interactions, so there's going to be a lot of updates coming from there. And remember, open backend for Scream. You don't even have to play on our front end. You can play on your own. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's of course the whole problem of the own chain anyway. Yeah, this is awesome stuff. I mean, I'm really mind blown here. That is compliments. Congrats to achieve that. Awesome. Thank you very much for the answer.
All right. Thank you so much, Funcracker, for the question. So now it's 5 minutes past the hour. So I think it's a good moment to close. Thank you, Brett, so much, man. Thank you so much for all the answers and for the interview. I agree with Funcracker and Bodhi. This is mind-blowing stuff that you're working on, and I'm happy to have you here to share it and explain it to us, man. So thank you so much for joining.
All in a day's work.
And drop by on the 6th, mate. You deserve a beer or two at least.
I look forward to it.
Awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, guys, before we close, if you want to see my face, I just posted a tweet. I'm going to post a link. Not sure if anyone cares, but I'm sharing it in Townhall chat. That's the face docs, the face reveal. Go take a look if you want to see how I look like. It's weird, but it happened.
Mate, yeah. Really, finally, the day has come. Awesome.
Yeah, it happened. So if you want to take a look, I just posted the tweet in Townhall chat. But now I think it's a good moment to close. We are all going now to Twitter. We have the after party where we will try to digest a little bit what happened in today's town hall. So see you everybody at on Twitter. We'll be at the after party. So make sure to join us. I will be dropping the link now in town hall chat as well. So Swagner, any closing thoughts from your side, sir?
I'll just say Bodhi and Funcracker, thank you guys for the questions. They were great questions. Brett, thanks again for joining us. Santi, always fantastic to be up here with you. This was a fun one. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the content that we rolled out today. We're very excited for Breakpoint, so hopefully you all can tune in for that. And I think if Brett is any indication of the level of effort and the sophistication and complexity of the systems that we're building on the blockchain side, I can assure all of you that this same level of development and progress is going on in every department across the company. We've got a world-class team here. I am super thrilled. So big thank you to everyone on the Star Atlas team, Automata team that's listening in. Yeah, guys, onward and upward. Thanks very much.
Go. Let's go, man. So we'll see everybody. Go to Twitter now and join the after party. I'll be there with Dom, and well, everyone is invited, including you, Swagner. And just throwing the invitation here in public. And I think this is a good moment to close. So this was the Star Atlas Town Hall number 34. Please remember to join the after party. Dropping the link now in Town Hall chat. I forgot to drop the link. And power to the people.
And stick it to the man.
See you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.